Namaste, angels, is the daily reading for Monday, August 13th, beginning with the year 1521, when Spanish conquistadors under Hernan Cortez capture Aztec Emperor Cuauhtemoc in Tenochtitlan, marking the end of the Aztec Emperor. In my earliest videos, I did a whole thing about the comparison of him to like an incarnated Osiris. Anyway, 1536. Buddhist monks from Kyoto's Inyaku temple set fire to 21 Nichiren temples throughout Kyoto in the Tenbun Hoke disturbance. A traditional Japanese date for this, I don't know if you would call it a celebration, event, that's what I'm going to call it, event, is July 27th in the year 1536. 1642. Oh, by the way, July 27th, it's interesting, it's 7-9 in the year 1536, 7969, which together is of course 1111 or 13. 1642, another 13 or 4 or 1111. Dutch astronomer Christian Huygens discovers Martian South Polar Cap. 1788 or 888, Prussia joins Anglo-Dutch alliance to form Triple Alliance to prevent the spread of Russo-Swedish War from 1788, again 888, through 1790. 1937, the Second Sino-Japanese War. Japanese forces begin the battle in Shanghai, a conflict that will last 3 months and involve 1 million troops. Did you know construction of the Berlin Wall begins in East Germany on this day in the year 1961? Famous birthdays: Ben Hogan, Fidel Castro, and Betsy King. Would you believe Otto White, a German acrobat and fanaticist, is purportedly crowned King of Albania on this day in the year 1913? Famous weddings: 1868. Prime Minister of Canada, Wilfrid Laurier, 26, weds Zoe Lafontaine, 27, in Montreal, Canada. 1926, comedian Stan Laurel, 36, marries his first wife, actress Lois Nielsen, 30. 1943, evangelist Billy Graham, 24, weds philanthropist and Christian author Ruth Bell, 23, in Montreal, North Carolina. I didn't know there was a Montreal, North Carolina. 1980, actor James Woods, 33, weds costume designer Catherine Morrison. 1988, musician Robert Smith, 29, weds Mary Poole in the UK. Famous deaths: Florence Nightingale, H.G. Wells, I don't know where the W came from, and Mickey Mantle. Mickey Mantle was a baseball legend. He was American and regarded as by many as one of the greatest players in baseball history. Mantle played center fielder and first baseman for the New York Yankees for 18 seasons from 1951 through 1968. He appeared in 12 World Series, his team winning 7 of them, and holds numerous World Series batting records. He was born on October 20th in 1931 and was a Libra from Spavinaw, Oklahoma, USA. He died on August 13th in 1995 at the age of 63 of cancer. I don't know what happened to the others. Oh, here they are. H.G. Wells. Full name, Herbert George Wells. He was British and an author, most noted for his science fiction works, including The War of the Worlds, The Time Machine, The Invisible Man, The Island of Dr. Moreau. He was born on September 21st, which is the, is it the equinox, right? It's something. Is it the equinox? September 21st is something. I don't remember anymore. I'm losing it, guys. I'm losing my mind. Or maybe because it's 12:47 and I didn't sleep in how many days? Probably like maybe the 8 hours short of 2 days. I may have slept a total of 8 hours, and I'm being generous. Over the past 2 days. Anyway, I feel great, but I think I'm spacing out a little bit now. Anyway, he was a Virgo from Bromley, Kent, England, and he died on August 13th in 1946. He was 79. Lastly, for the deaths, Florence Nightingale was British and a nurse. She's famed as the Lady with the Lamp in the Crimean War. She revolutionized nursing. A noted statistician, she is also said to have invented a predecessor to the pie chart. She was born on May 12th in the year 1820 and was a Taurus. This is funny. She was from Florence, Tuscany, Italy. She died on August 13th in 1910 at the age of 90. I'm sure you're saying, what's funny about her dying? That's not what's funny. She died peacefully in her sleep. What's funny is if she was a statistician and a nurse, then she had to be into both like, the science of like biology or physiology and the science of math, like myself. And she was born exactly a month and a day, of course, not the same year, not nearly the same year, but a month and a day. She was born on May 12th. I was born on June 13th, before me. So I think it's funny because because I too, for those of you who don't know that may be watching, I too have studied both biology and math. I have 3 science degrees, 2 are in accounting, 1 is in biology. All right, anyway, enough about me, more about these people. Going back up to the birthdays. Betsy King is a rather. I didn't mean to kill off Betsy. LPGA golfer. You see what I mean by I'm losing it? She became a member of the LPGA Tour in 1977, and she won 6 major championships and 34 LPGA Tour victories in all. She was born on August 13th in 1955 and is 63 years old, a Leo from Reading, Pennsylvania, USA. Fidel Castro was Cuban and a Cuban revolutionary and president. Castro led the Cuban Revolution and in 1959 established the first communist state in the Western Hemisphere. As either prime minister or president, he governed Cuba from 1959 until he transferred power to his brother Raul in 2008. He became politically active while studying at the University of Havana. He first attempted to overthrow the right-wing government of Fulgencio Batista in 1953, but failed and spent a year in prison. After his release, he formed the 26th of July movement with Raul Castro and Che Guevara. They returned to Cuba and launched the Cuban Revolution, overthrowing Batista in 1959. Cuba thus became the first communist state in the Western Hemisphere. The United States reacted strongly to his presence, attempted to assassinate him hundreds of times, as well as trying to overthrow him in 1961 at the Bay of Pigs invasion. In response, Castro formed an alliance with the Soviet Union, which deployed nuclear weapons in Cuba as a countermeasure, leading to the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962. This is generally regarded as the closest moment at which the Cold War turned into a nuclear war. Domestically, Castro introduced state economic planning and expanded Cuba's medical and educational infrastructure while destroying dissent. He was active internationally, sending Cuban troops to the Yom Kippur War, the Ogaden War, the Angolan Civil War. He also sent Cuban medical expertise overseas. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, Cuba's economy drastically declined. He tried to send water to us at 9/11 too, and Bush refused it. And we needed it. People like me, living right up on the towers, we didn't have power, we didn't have water, we didn't have phone, we didn't have much of anything. We were eating rations, and Bush had the nerve to turn away water, because he didn't want it from Cuba. Anyway, in ill health, he transferred power to his brother Raul, leaving as the longest serving non-royal head of state in the 20th and 21st centuries. He was born on August 13th in 1926 and was a Leo from Baran, Oriente Province, Cuba. He died on November 25th in the year 2016 at the age of 90. Ben Hogan was American and a golfer. He's considered one of the greatest golfers in history. He was born on August 13th in 1912 and was a Leo from Stephenville, Texas, USA. He died on July 25th in 1997 at the age of 84. And he was the last. Pretty quick today. Only drawn out by my nuttiness. I'm beginning now with the dice with yes. Can you guys see that? Yes. Also, dirty movie again. This keeps turning up. And 29. Spirit says cocktail. Try again. And sex. Sex has been with us since the weekend readings. I hope you guys got to see those. If not, there are 3 up. The Leo new moon and solar eclipse reading, which covers the energy of those events, the Leo new moon and the solar eclipse, from August 11th through August 25th, which is right before the full moon. And of course, the weekly general and love readings that cover the period as it relates to general energy and love energy from August 12th rather, through August 18th. All right, and the dice say weekend away. Eat cake. I picked up the energy of gifts and birthday too during the love reading. Like for like some of the masculine's birthday, the feminine was, or for some reason, the feminine was buying the masculine a gift. Email. Speaking of the masculine, we're beginning today with the, let me get this light out the way. That might help. I'm sorry. I want you to know I turned the light completely around, facing the opposite wall, and there's still something there. What is that? Okay, I don't know. Anyway, the King of Fire is motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic. Focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Take advice from someone creative. The King of Fire, in addition to being the divine masculine representation in the tarot, is also a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, possibly a Scorpio. The world, for me, to which I've opened, also is of the fire element. As far as I'm concerned, I feel fire from it. So I'm attributing it to the fire element, although I haven't connected it directly to any particular sign. What I have corrected it directly to, what many other practitioners of tarot don't. People say, oh, you know, it means the world is at your hands or in your hands or at your feet or how, whatever the saying goes. Or the world is your oyster. And no, that's not what it means. I mean, sometimes I think I picked up on that a little, like once in a while. Rarely. But most of the time for me, it means that the universe is bringing you out of some sort of situation, circumstance, relationship that you've just been in too long. I call it like my waiting to exhale card, because you can finally breathe a sigh of relief, like, this is finally ending. Now, what also sometimes happens is, although we've taken our time leaving a situation, now that we feel the universe bringing us out of it, now all of a sudden it's like, oh, hurry up and wait. Like we want to rush the universe. The world can require patience, which I understand might be difficult when you're in the energy of fire, which is all about movement and action. But that's what it calls for. Divine timing, as they say. The world. Very nice. Opening to the Ace of Water. Falling in love, or the resurgence of a relationship. Spiritual growth and enhanced intuition. Possibly even a new home. It is something like you're leaving something that you stayed in way too long. A situation, a circumstance, a relationship. You're getting something far better. And that's always the way it goes. When the universe pulls us out of these things, that's why. It's to lead us towards something more appropriate. And it's going to bring us joy. Right? The Ace of Water is complete emotional fulfillment and joy. The World. So it might be something for which you've already been patient. Maybe you've been waiting, right, to get a home. You've been struggling in your living situation. You've been in it too long and it's not the best situation for you. So the universe has been easing you out. And now here comes the new home. You've been trying to get out of a relationship. You finally realized that it wasn't for you. You're leaving the person. It involves, there's a lot of, it's complicated or whatever. Or maybe you were even married or somehow legally attached, and you got to undo that. And so, although you want out, it's a process now. You got to go about that. Maybe the scales of justice involved, again, legality, separation agreement, divorce decree, custody, other means of family court, child support, all that sort of thing. Partnerships, what do they call those? There's some kind of partnership. It's not romantic partnership. It's a legal name for it. In any case, you guys get the idea of what I'm talking about. So now you're ready for that to happen. But again, with the world, it can require some patience. It can take some time. And again, you're being led to something better with the Six of Earth. Six of Earth is all about unconditional love. Does represent the planet Venus, which is currently in Libra. So this picture is a real depiction of the current state of Venus for about like the next month or so. I also see Taurus, which she rules as well, and Gemini, which she rules as well in this picture. But more importantly, again, it is about unconditional love. Equality, justice, equity. The World, and the Four of Earth, which is about our foundations. Again, there could really be a home or a relationship or job or something involved here. Or setting up our foundations, maybe like learning a vocation or something, that you're really wanting a new start at school or something. That too can be what this is. Being too frivolous or too cautious with money, good business decisions, and giving to those less fortunate. As it relates to emotion, it can be the same thing, being too frivolous or too cautious, like withholding yourself or being too giving of yourself. The World, and lastly, it's another four. Again, our foundations. Four of Air can have to do with planning a vacation, and where it doesn't, it can also be about the need to make some sort of decision. It's a good idea to meditate in order to help you to decide. It's also, or to sleep, to get some rest, like, sleep on it, as they say. Allow, the mental chatter to be quieted for a little while, lay down. Time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. The World. And it is a life experience with Archangel Chamuel, a significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. It's time to spread your wings. And this 921 is back. I was just on the World, which is Major Arcana card number 21. And now the Hermit is here, Major Arcana card 9. I do think it's like the first day of fall or something. Like the official start, if I remember correctly, but I'm not going to rack my brain about that anymore. Move on to this again. The Hermit represents the sign of Virgo, and it is all about enlightenment, and can represent a lawyer, to go back to that legal situation. That's possible too, or a teacher, to go back to the potential of school. Sometimes it can be more metaphorical. You are both like the teacher and the student, and you're learning more about you. It's about going within, which can be attached, of course, to the Four of Swords, and that you need to spend some time meditating. That involves going within, or with resting and clearing your mind's chatter and just being quiet by yourself. Okay, that can lead to enlightenment too. Crowning the masculine is the two of air, being unable or unwilling to make a decision, a stalemate, and pretending there's no problem. So perhaps he is the one that has to sleep on it in order before he can make a decision. Or he may be awaiting a decision as well. And again, it can be a legal decision potentially that he is awaiting. In either case, right now, there's like non-action, or at least it appears to be non-action, like nobody, like the decision's not being made. Surrounding the masculine is the king of fire. He is back. Motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic, as I said before, is the king of fire. Again, also a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, or Scorpio, and a representation of the divine masculine in the tarot. Focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Take advice from someone creative. Maybe your lawyer, coming up with a creative defense. Maybe your professor, or your boss, or like the dean down at the school that helps you decide what classes to take, what's best for your major, something like that, in order for you to take action and get going on like your life. The king of fire is a leader, you know, he's an action taker, and he's in control of his life, his destiny. Wow, okay. It's another king of fire. It is the wheel, major arcana card, the wheel. I don't know from where that light is coming. Major arcana card, the wheel. A time of positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward and fortune is on your side. The wheel represents the planet Jupiter. That's why I was saying another king of fire. Jupiter is certainly a king of fire. Ruler of the sign of Sagittarius, and also connected to the fixed signs of the zodiac: Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo. So very powerful signs there too. It's a time of positive change and very sudden, right? A situation suddenly moves forward. So there was non-action, all of a sudden, boom, there's action. And fortune is on your side, so it's good. So even in the case where it is a legal decision, again, this is positive. And your lawyer may have come up with a creative defense that you may have taken his advice and followed it. Crowning the feminine, speaking of the home, right? The potential for home and movement, or a new relationship, because the old one was funky and the universe pulled you out of it with the energy of the world. It is the Four of Fire, the Four of Wands, which is all about commitment, maybe even a marriage, a wedding, or, you know, other higher institutions it could be. It's like home is where the heart is, that sort of thing. It's about your peace and sanity, right? Your contentment, your joy, really. Contentment, peace, and abundance. I left that out. How could I? A happy home life and the successful completion of a project. So, woo, very nice. All this fire energy today. Fire, 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 fire. It is the Ace of Fire, an exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. It doesn't have to be career advancement. It can also be, of course, a relationship, like I said. It is a new beginning about which or whom, if it's a person, you are extremely passionate. So you're very, very happy. Feminine subconscious. Womp womp as usual. I'm so sick of this damn Five of Water. I can't even tell you, with the feminine in particular. Things not turning out the way you'd hoped, not seeing the positive in the situation, and crying over spilled milk. This is like, you know, getting a new home, but not liking the street it's on. You know, like you don't even have to pay for it. It's free, you know, but I'm not, you're still complaining. You know, you're still not grateful. Getting a new relationship, but, you know, maybe he didn't ask you, he didn't the way you wanted. Getting engaged, but he didn't do the proposal like you imagined it would be. So womp womp, rather than being thrilled and peaceful and content. That's what the Five of Water is. I really don't like it because it's so obnoxious to me. You know, to be so ungrateful. But here's the two beautiful cups. And then here's the concern for the three that have spilled out. Let them go. That's the world. Remember 21 equals 3 with the world? And it's something old that doesn't help you anymore, doesn't serve you, or was no good for you. Let them go. The universe is bringing you to this. Crowning. The King of Earth, generous, professional, responsible, and practical. A successful time. Confidently accept opportunities you're offered. You have the Midas touch. For either archetype, this could definitely be a new job or some sort of new income stream. Just, opportunity to become more abundant, even in the areas of love. It is an asset, perhaps, represents some sort of asset. A home, for example. Masculine, again, not sure, like of what to do, and at a place of indecision, or maybe waiting to see what the decision about him is. Is he being offered the job? Will he get the promotion? Will he be able to go to school? Is she interested? Does she accept his proposal of whatever it is? Or, again, it could be court and waiting, some sort of period of indecision. He doesn't know what's going to happen because maybe it doesn't seem like anything's been happening, which is, kind of the case with the Two of Air. Again, for me, it's an energy of non-action where there needs to be action, there needs to be a decision. But then again, boom, all of a sudden, suddenly, things move forward and there's a change. So it is positive for both. For both. There's like a no-lose situation here, which makes me even more irritated about the feminine's subconscious. At the root, next to the Five of Water, the Three of Water, a celebration, a wedding, graduation, or a birth announcement, the need to have more fun. This could be connected to eat cake, right? Remember the die, eat cake. This could be that celebration. We could be going out. Yeah. And if we're not, maybe we should. If we get an opportunity to go out, make sure you consider it. Or get an opportunity to do anything that you would normally like to do. But you might otherwise say no because you're being, funky. Do consider it. Wow. The couple is here, and I think didn't they show up in the love reading too together? I think they did. I'm pretty sure they did in the love reading. It's the Queen of Earth, who is thoughtful, creative, warm, and sensible. Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach and deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. The Queen of Earth, like the King, is a Taurus, Virgo. Taurus, like the energy connected to the wheel. Virgo, like our overall energy, the Hermit. Or Capricorn, where Scorpio, Saturn, and Mars are currently located. All three of them as of the 12th. Make time for those around you. Remember, I just said, be social if you get an opportunity. Somebody invites you out, even if it's friends and not a date or whatever. That's what you're guided to do here. Make time for those around you. Deal with challenges. This seems like a self-imposed challenge, but I guess that would be it. Or this, if it's the masculine who's not moving. Deal with them in a kind and understanding manner. The Queen of Earth is about abundance that's on her its way in, as is the Wheel, the King of Fire, the King of Earth, the Four of Fire, and the Ace of Fire. So it's a good day. I could have used this to clarify further what the masculine's Two of Air was, but I already put it there for his advice, so we'll look at this one. Wow. The Six of Earth. Gifts of money, time, or effort, new career opportunities, like I said, or receiving a loan or paying off debts, maybe a student loan, because I've also thought about that with school. Something like that. But it's whatever it is, it's good. Is the next one upright? It's not. I was going to say if it is, I will look to see what might have the feminine in the funk, like why she would even be thinking like this with all this beautiful energy around, but I will skip it. Oops. Well, the masculine's advice is the Five of Air, An unwise choice. Learn what you can from this situation. Review everyone's motives. So some conflict may arise for him. He should just be aware of this. Masculine, you listening out there, you should just be aware of this and avoid at all possible. Somebody tries to bring you into drama, just say no thanks. And we've got our own 5. Right? The masculine has a 5 for his advice. We've got our own 14 equals 5. Major Arcana card 14. Balance or temperance in the traditional tarot. All about recovery. Being made whole. Being restored. What was taken from you. What was lost. It's coming back. Whether it was your energy, some money, an opportunity. Like it's your time. It's your time. Like, the universe is going to help you. It's healing for you. The need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise. Wait for perfect timing. I also connect this energy to the sign of Aquarius, because this is a water bearer, and there tends to be a water bearer on any temperance card I've ever seen for the tarot. There tends to be a water bearer on it. All right, let's look at both of these 5s then. All right, this is for the masculine. Look, just like, can you believe this? Just like in the love reading. I'm clarifying the 5 of air with the 7 of air. The next upright one, I'll use for the feminine, even though I could continue with the masculine. The Page of Earth. Scholarly, dependable, patient, and successful. Good news about financial matters. Boom, 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 boom. Wanting to do something more challenging and a new area of study. So there's no need for these 5s here. All right. Again, also if there's any drama that comes your way, although I'm not expecting that, but avoid it, or any feelings of pessimism or doubt or undeservingness or, oh, woe is me, and being obnoxious. Try to relieve yourself of it. Whatever you feel like you need to do to get rid of it. Maybe go into that place of meditation like the 4 of Swords we saw as I was shuffling. And for the masculine, one more for him. Clarifying the 5 and 7 of air, but we already know what this is about. Somebody wants to steal his joy. They are, jealous of all of this wonderful energy that surrounds him. And it's the Knight of air. Intelligent, decisive, idealistic, and tireless. Events that occur with great speed. Take time to carefully review your options so you can come up with creative solutions. The Knight of air is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, and can be Mercury himself, which I think it might be, or Venus herself, another ruler of air signs, both Gemini and Libra. Knight of air, also an indication that a decision has to be made. So somebody or something, like the energy of Mercury retrograde, could be like potentially mucking up the works, throwing a monkey wrench into the program. And maybe that's what caused the delay and the 2 of air. But again, all's well that ends well. If we maintain, our positivity, this is the energy that wants to come toward us. This is what we will manifest. And we'll end up having an awesome day, it looks like, if we do. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the daily reading and you find it helpful. Namaste, angels.